Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, trying out a new deck that I've been toying with over the weekend. Um, I think I have the mulligan, I think. So this is my second match with this. I just stopped my recording of match one because my daughter came downstairs. I think I have the mulligan until I find one of two cards, Amulet of Vigor or a Boreal Grazer. But I did not find that, so we'll keep and just put a couple cards to the bottom. This is the doesn't tap for double green. Gosh. All right. Well, so I mean, this is an Amulet of Vigor deck, basically, a dinosaur Amulet of Vigor deck. So it's not going to be as good as Primeval Titan, but it's looking to do something similar in the early game, just to ramp into some creatures instead of things like Dryad of the Elysian Grove or playing Wayward Swordtooth, Topiary Stomper. These are ways we can ramp into some things. I don't even know what to do, to be honest. Okay, well, we're going to play this. Yeah, I mean, my second pass, the first match got kind of run over by Hammer Time. We put up a fight in game two. But man, they drew really well. And we did not. So we're playing like 27 lands. We ended up flooding out pretty hard. We're up against Merfolk. Okay, well, that's cool. Little do they know we're planning on returning that to our hand anyway. So land disruption deck is what this looks like. We'll just go ahead and play this. So next turn, we're hoping we just put that to the bottom. I mean, it's unbelievable how often you put something to the bottom and it's the very first card you draw. Joke's on you, opponent. We're playing a janky dinosaur deck that looks like Amulet Titan, except we don't have a Amulet of Vigor. And we have yet to play one, and it's going to be really interesting once we do, because I've never played with one in either paper or MTGO. So I'm sure I'm going to be making some misclicks, stacking things incorrectly, but that's why this is a practice game. We're in the free section. Looks like we're playing a Merfolk deck. Next turn, we'll see what our opponent does, but next turn we will... Oh, they're just going to spreading seas. All right, so definitely land, targeting our land repeatedly. It's fine. It's not ideal, but we have a lot of lands. We don't play any fetch lands, so if they're going to continue to do this, then they will run us out of... I mean, we don't have a way to nerf it with a fetch land, so we're just going to have to keep playing lands and hope they don't have more ways to destroy our lands. It looks like they're playing the full... I mean, if you're going to play this, Seas Claim, of course you're playing Spreading Seas, and then there's that other Merfolk that can make a land into an island. Like, I believe it's this one that does that. Yep, sure. So they're definitely... Merfolk land disruption, land hate, I guess, is what this is. We're still able to execute some of our game plan here. Hopefully they don't have a subtlety. That would make me sad. Opponent has 3 land disruption spells plus a subtlety. Is that what's happening? Or have they just never seen this card in their life and are reading it? Alright. They might play counter magic. And we do want to resolve this Topiary Stomper. I'm just curious. I'm just deciding whether or not I want to bolt. I think we'll go ahead and bolt now. And it might not be the right play, but it does play around a counter spell or some other shenanigans from our opponent, who is a mono blue player. So right now we kind of just want to hit lands. If we get to resolve this Topiary Stomper, great. If we don't, we can play a Wayward Swordtooth, but we're hoping to draw a land to play off of it at the very least. We can't attack with any of our 3 drops for a while, so it's kind of... Oh, another one. Great. How fun. Fun never stops. So bounce land would be pretty good. Boreal Grazer. A little late to the party, dude. A little late to the party. So we have currently, we need 10 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we might want to hold off on the Boreal Grazer until we can play a bounce land into bounce land. Play a second Wayward Swordtooth. Opponent's got 4 cards. I mean, they've played 4 land disruption spells and still have 4 cards in hand. So that was a creature, 2 Seize Claims, and a Spreading Seas. What a hateful Merfolk deck this is. Oh man, and we played 27 lands, so we should be able to draw plenty of lands to kind of ignore what they're doing, but we just drawn 4. Got 4 this game. Another Tide Shaper. Oh good, a 5th hateful land spell. Man, opponent came with the land hate for sure. Yep, there goes our forest. So I think what we need is, we need multiple things at this point. Our opponent's not doing anything otherwise. There's a mountain, so that's basically our worst land to draw. We already have a red and white source, so we don't need another one. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to pass the turn. They're locking us out of the game with this land hate. I'm surprised that they ever get through a match, to be honest. We're in the free zone, and I'm not enjoying playing against land destruction, so I'll see what we can cobble together here. Hopefully we'll hit one of our untapped forest sources so we can do a double land. We're still so far away from the city's blessing, though. I mean, this deck, so this is our second match, and I've yet to see it play very well. Like, it just clunky draws, clunky plays, either too many lands and no in-between action. Like our second match against Hammer Time, we just had the 7 drop in lands, but we had nothing to do after turn. Oh, there's our Amulet of Vigor. So we'll keep that in our hand for now. So we're still really hoping we're hoping for a big turn with a single forest bounce land. So now we're setting up for, if we do draw a forest bounce land, we can play an Amulet of Vigor, play that, untap it, tap it, put the Boreal Grazer into play, play the bounce land again, we'll have we can return a bounce land to our hand when we play that one. Play that one, return a different land to our hand, and kind of undo all of our opponent's work, and then also casting a Tupperware Stomper. So we're way behind on cards. They have 5 cards in hand and a lot of pressure on the board. If we draw a single bounce land, though, I think we can get back in it. So they have Island Walk, so we would need to bounce both of these, another Lord of Atlantis, if we survive long enough. And we'll see if I can do the Amulet of Vigor triggers correctly, which is very possible I will not. So it's this turn or bust right now. We need a bounce land. And we need our opponent not to have any counter spells. Bounce land. Well, that is not a bounce land. So we are going to scoop it up. That's unfortunate. 27 lands, man. Man, well, I don't understand why sometimes it doesn't let you draw a card. All right, well, what do we have against Hateful Merfolk? Force of Vigors will probably be pretty good. Veil of Summer for counter. I don't even know if we want to bring in the Veil of Summers, to be honest. I mean, this our combo here. Our idea here, Belligerent, we are an Amulet of Vigor deck, so we want to be able to abuse the extra mana by casting some of our 3-drops that let us play multiple lands to ramp us into our finishers. It's not going to be as good or as consistent as Amulet Titan, of course, but that's already a deck. I've been wanting to play Dinos in Modern for a long time. This is my Dino deck. The idea of Belligerent Yearling is to get some value out of these creatures that can't attack, so we get that down on turn 2 or whenever, before we get all these kind of overpowered, undercosted creatures that have drawbacks, make it big and get in a few nice attacks on the way to casting our big things via these 3-drops. Well, the Pugnacious Hammer Skull just as a beater. So now we want to bring in Forces of Vigor, so what do we take out? Lightning Bolt, it seems all right. So last time what I did, I just kind of took out a land. Cavern of Souls could be good, Besagia is good. Fine. Take out a Slayer Stronghold, and then we'll take out maybe one of each of these 3-drops. I mean, I really want one of these 3-drops is the thing, but we need to have answers for what our opponent's doing. So anyway, we'll give that a shot. So that's the idea of the deck. You know, it's janky. We weren't able to do anything in our first match, which drew poorly. That match, you saw how close we were to being able to go off. All right, so this is a great hand, I think. Excuse me. So we're going to get an Amulet of Vigor down and be off to the races with this Arboreal Grazer. We just don't have a finisher right now. We do have the Force of Vigor that we can use to destroy whatever enchantments our opponent casts. What we really like to do is hit another bounce land and a finisher in our next 2 draws. And a red source for this Lightning Bolt. See if they have the land hate. They kept 7, so. Galta. We're a long ways away from Galta. That was our worst finisher to draw. So we can play another Amulet of Vigor, and then play a bounce land and get 4 mana out of it. But honestly, I don't even really want to do that. Oh, it's so sad. So sad. So sad. Yeah, I mean, we don't have the 3-drop. We don't have the extra lands. We drew a 12-drop of our finishers. Honestly, I really think we're just going to pass the turn. And we're going to learn how to use Amulet of Vigor eventually with 2 of them out, hopefully. So our opponent's going to be super incentivized to blow up or to Spreading Seas this forest, since they think we're missing a land. So what can we do? We can go bounce land, tap, untap, tap, untap, get 4 mana. Arboreal Grazer. Okay. And then we return the Selesnya Sanctuary to our hand. So we can get up to 8 mana. So this was literally our worst finisher to draw. Jetmere Garden. So now what can we get up to? So, gosh, I guess it's really hard to do math. So we get 2 land drops, and we get double event. So we have 8 mana here. So close to this of course power, so it's like the 0/3 is really not helping us any. So whenever a permanent enters a battlefield tapped and under your control, untap it. We'll stack it like that, and then this one goes off. So then, do we even care? Discard a card, then draw cards in. So we're gonna get, we'll get 1, and then 2. I don't even, the math, man. Maybe this is not the deck for it. I've watched Amulet Titan played so much, and I love it, and I think it's such a fun-looking deck. But maybe it's really a bad deck for someone who doesn't like math and isn't very good at it. All right, they got the Tishana's Tidebinder magic mana up if they're playing that card. And they have Island Walk. Okay. I think we might be able to get Galta down next turn if I do the math correctly. I could be wrong. We're all going to have untap 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We still want to have enough mana. It's unbelievable. 12 mana. Yeah, just another finisher, please. A different finisher. Just a different finisher, please. Don't give us another Galta. I thought Galta would be so good in this deck given all the 3-drops we play that have an insane amount of power. But no, it's really bad when you have an Arboreal Grazer and a Galta in your hand. All right. Is there any way we can do this? Is this enough? I don't think so, right? It's still not enough. We can make 2 land drops, so we get tap for 1. This goes into play, tap, untap 2, tap, untap 4. Yeah, it's the same thing. Tap, untap, tap, untap. 4 is 8. 9. We're at 9 mana. We could use the bounce land just to return this to our hand, to cycle it, I guess. I really just don't know. I don't know what to do here. Is it right to just... Oh man, someone was watching and they stopped and started again. Okay, how do we stack our triggers? This way? Okay, enters battlefield tapped. Let's see if we did it right. Return a land to our hand. We'll return this one. All right, so we did that wrong. So that should untap. We'll tap it. Tap it. Cycle. Draw something, hopefully. That's good. Guess we'll go for Wolf Run. Okay. So I think we need to stack our triggers differently with the bounce land last. Is what we just learned there. And so now we're going to have to practice that. Next turn we're going to have play a land, tap for that. We're going to have 2. We're still going to have not enough mana. Okay. So they've had no land destruction this game. I wonder if they that's their alternative sideboard plan. With they take some of it out, thinking people are going to do things like bring in Force of Vigor. But Force of Vigor is good against Aether Vial. I don't know. I don't know what people bring in against that kind of land destruction or land hate, other than Force of Vigor. Or other cards that are just already good against Merfolk. So maybe they've just gotten unlucky this game with not hitting their land hate the way they did in game 1, where they had like 6 land hate spells. Okay, other Merfolk you get +1/+1 whenever you cast a Merfolk spell. You may tap or untap target permanent. Yeah, sure. Now, Temporary Stomper. Is that going to be enough? is 4. All right, let's see if we can figure this out. I don't know if I can. That's that's the worst part. I don't know if I can figure out how to. And that was 3 mana. Again, that's a net as a single mana. It doesn't let us. We have to go get a basic. So I guess we'll go get. We should get a forest, but we already have a forest. We'll get another one. So I'm going to untap. We'll tap it. Next one. All right, so now we're going to tap it for 2. Can we do? All right. So let me do the math. So we'll tap. We'll put this into play. We're going to get 2, 4, 5, and this is going to cost 7. So we haven't played a land yet this turn. So we can return. That's what I mean. We're going to play it and get 2. Okay, so we're going to play this. Now, can we stack our Amulet of Vigor triggers correctly? So we want that to go on the stack first, that to go on the stack second, and that to go on the stack third. So we'll untap, tap, untap, tap. Okay. Turn it to our hand. Put that on the stack, that on the stack, that on the stack. Play Galta. See what our opponent does. Just a casual 12-12 Champler. Oh man. We've already played a land this turn. Okay, so we're out of mana. What can our opponent do? So Topiary Stomper, you see its power in the deck. It got us a land. I mean, Amulet of Vigor, obviously great. Let us finally cast this Galta on turn 5. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. I enjoy the deck. All right, so enters battlefield. You may return target creature and opponent controls to its owner's hand. So I'm going to return our Galta. Sure. I think we can still recast it. We'll get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we can recast it next turn if they don't do anything else. Yeah, we'll just have 6. I mean, I'm having fun, but man, at least we got to do something with Amulet of Vigor. And you see the game plan. It's, of course, not as good as Primeval Titan, but it's fun if you like to play dinosaurs. I'm going to see if I can get it as finely tuned as possible to make it competitive. I thought he was going to return something to my hand. You may return target tap creature. Tap creature to an opponent. An opponent controls this owner's hand. All right, so it's not tap, so they can't. I thought they were going to bounce the Galta. They're just running that out for value, I suppose, or to untap some stuff and to build up a big board, or maybe they'll follow up. Now, okay, sure. Now this is as long as you control at least extra card. Yep, sure. Now we'll see if our opponent can get a big enough board going or answer this Galta. It looks like they're tapping down. Because if everything goes as planned, we're going to make a whole bunch of mana, especially if we draw any. All right, so they're gonna have a big board. Is it big enough to kill us? Man, we need a way to make a second. Oh, we need a way to make a second land drop. We need to play this bounce lane and the Keswick Wolfron. We should have played the Keswick Wolfron last turn, I guess. That was a mistake. So Keswick Wolfron will get us. Yeah, we can't do it. So we can't play an extra mana. We can't play extra lands anymore. So that was our big turn. And now they're going to attack for a whole bunch. So I think we're missing red. It's really awkward. We want to be able to do the Gruul Turf and the Keswick Wolfron in a single turn. But we're worried that they're going to. Well, we have the Force of Vigor for that, I guess. All right, so we'll play the Keswick Wolfron. We don't have the red source, unfortunately. That's really awkward. They've shown that they play this Harbinger of Tides. So if we attack, they could easily just return this to our hand. The next turn we won't be able to win. Maybe we just don't do anything yet. I feel really bad doing that though. So they have 2, 4, 7, 11, 13 damage. And if they have Island Walk, man, okay. Maybe we just go ahead and get the attack in while we can. And then if push comes to shove and they swing out after taking a big hit, maybe we can get enough mana with this Boreal Grazer to pump it with the Keswick Wolfron and the Gruul Turf. Yeah, indestructible, sure. So now we're left ourselves open for a second Harbinger of Tides, which, you know, why wouldn't they have it? But that's okay. We're hoping just to survive. Okay, enchant the land. Which one is it? That one. Okay. So we got the 2 green here. Yeah. Sure. They're going after that and not the Keswick Wolfron. Interesting. Yep. They got the Lord. Are we dead? I don't think we're dead. Well, we could be. We'll see. Especially if they have a second Lord, because they're going to get untap a land. If they're able to cast another Lord this turn, that might be enough to kill us. So now they're giving everything Island Walk. So we see how important making extra land drops are in this deck, and we know that from the Amulet Titan deck. But man, we're so close to the last turn being able to get there, I think. Are there any other targets for our Force of Vigor? So am I dead to this swing? 4, so 10, 19, right? Yeah, they think they got us. I can't even target that. Okay, so done. So we should be able to block the biggest and stay alive. And then swing the kill with the Galta. Another Force of Vigor. All right, 1712 Trampling Galta, just how we drew it up for the win. Yep. Did they have any shenanigans for free? Just got there, -1. All right. We managed to do it. We managed to figure it out. Okay. Sweet, sweet. That was awesome. Okay, so Galta, beginning to think maybe we should find a different fatty like this Galta and Raven. Although it did the job there. Opponent says GG. That was nice of the opponent after playing their hateful land destruction or disruption. All right, so we could do Veil of Summer if we wanted. Could just run it back. And we saw the Power Force of Vigor there. They're going to maybe bring in some counter spells. Lightning Bolt could be good, but do we want to just accelerate by ignore Lightning Bolt? I don't know. Anyway, all right, well, on the game two, I guess we're not that much slower than our opponent. They're about a minute, 2 minutes ahead of us, but well, we have the Grazer, and we have multiple Grazers and two, yeah, I think, man, this is tough. I think we want a mulligan because we don't have enough lands and we don't have the amulet, but we'll see. 2 finishers is not ideal. Okay, this is also not the best hand, especially when our opponent plays a lot of land disruption. But we're going to try it because I don't want to go to 5. I guess what we're going to put to the bottom is, oh man, it hurts me to put this garrison to the bottom. That's one of our synergistic pieces, but it looks like we might actually be doing like a mountain into belligerent yearling. I don't know. We'll see. It is, this is awkward, very awkward. I don't even, Amulet of Vigor would be our best draw. Lightning Bolt's not bad. At least it's something if they play their creature that makes their mountain into an island. We can respond by bolting it. Or if they just play a lord. All right. So that goes on the stack. They target our mountain. We're going to bolt it in response. Radiant Fountain. We could play that just to give us a better target for our bounced land next turn. So next turn, man. So yeah, Amulet of Vigor is just such a good card. I can see why you always want it in your opening 7. Man, it just makes the deck so super powered, even a deck that is janky. So we really want to hit a green source to play this Wayward Sawtooth and then be able to play this Lesnia Sanctuary too. We want an untapped green source. Okay, that's a good card for them. Get the Wayward Swordtooth, swinging for 5. Another belligerent yearling. Okay, well we're going to see the power of the belligerent yearling, I hope. Sure. And hopefully they don't have any more ways to disrupt our mana base, because we really need this green source. So next turn, we're going to have 2 5/5s with trample to attack. Granted, they're going to die in combat if they do get blocked, because their toughness stays the same, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Don't mess with my green source, please. No, not my green source. Well, yeah, our opponent has a main deck hate against our land ramp. And they're going to get our mountain. All right, well, Force of Vigor. That would be nice. Of course, we have to pitch the Wayward Swordtooth, which kind of ruins our fun in a lot of ways. Yeah. All right, so now we have 2 islands, right? Island. We do have plenty of ways of bouncing into our hand. We really want to have, but we just don't have the way. We want to hit like a Temple Garden, play the Wayward Swordtooth, play a land, and then start drawing into our bounce lands. We'll see. I mean, 27 lands, looks Force of Vigor. Like I said, it's a good card. We unfortunately have to pitch our Wayward Swordtooth to cast it, which is kind of what we want. We really wanted that Wayward Swordtooth. That was what we wanted, though. I mean, that does gives us our mana back again. All right, we'll get in with the see if they flash in something for blocks. It's instant speed, so we don't need to do it now. And wait till the end of they're holding up counter magic, so I kind of want to wait till the end of their turn. Especially because we are winning the race, and they will tap down eventually to flood the board with Merfolk, I imagine, unless they just have a bad draw. We may wait. Okay, Harbinger, sure. Doesn't look like they're going to pay. Oh, you can just pay 2 if you have for flash. I got it. All right. Sure. It's been a while. I remember this when it came out in standard. It's 4 mana for casting with flash. All right. I suppose we will. I don't even know. I kind of want to wait till the end step so that they can't. They're going to get a draw card, which means they could hit another land plus counter magic. I think what we're going to do is wait to see what we draw, because we really want to hit a different green source, like a Boreal Grazer maybe, to pitch to this Force of Vigor. If it's not your turn, you may exile a green card. All right, so I mean, we're going to have to go for it. And get rid of this wayward, get rid of this Wayward Swordtooth, which is exactly what we need, but we got to get rid of these enchantments in order to have a chance. Hopefully they don't have like a Spell Pierce or something. All right, well, that's not great for us. We're a really long way away from casting this Atali. We really wanted that Wayward Sawtooth in order to play 2 lands in a turn and get closer faster, but whatever. See if they double block or if they just take it. And this guy's done his job. I don't know. This I can control these 2 others. He gets indestructible, but they're going to go ahead and trade, it looks like. Yeah, this is a little bit awkward. A little bit awkward. We got to do what we wanted last game with the extra land drops, spreading seas. Yeah, there's our green source. We drew another land, but it wasn't a green source. So now we're really far away from executing our game plan. Although we do have the reds for the Itali, it's just we're way behind on mana again. We're down to 4 when we were just going to get to 6 next turn. Yeah. Too much land hate already in the main deck for us to really keep up with this Merfolk. This is good pressure from the Merfolk deck too, but land hate, main deck plus pressure against a new deck where we're not running super well, but last game we did okay. First game we might have done better if we had not had our mana cut off. Yeah, I don't even know what we want to draw here, what we can draw to get out of this, to be honest. Bounce land, I guess, would help, be a start. Okay, sure, tap a land. Are you tapping your own land? I think they mistapped, misclicked or whatever. I'm sure they did not mean to tap their own land. Not that it matters. Okay, well there's a nice creature to synergize with our belligerent yearling. But we don't have the green source to cast it, so go ahead and get in. I guess we'll probably, we do want to run out the Sacred Foundry because we need to make our land drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're down to 5. So yeah, another green source. We play a lot of them. Bounce land, not ideal, but at least we give this back to our hand. Turn off the island walk. All right, do we draw something like a green source? Untap green source, perhaps? Now they're going to tap some land of ours, which at this point, not sure we even care. We really just want to hit an untapped green source. Sure. I mean, the Pugnacious Hammerskull is nice. There's a bounce land. Is it going to be too slow? We're not going to attack because we're next turn we'll have a 6/6. Hopefully they don't have any more land hate, but they're going to then be able to tap it down with this guy anyway. So we're not going to have the green source next turn either. So yeah, I think we're a little bit too far behind now. Tell them about my website here. Yep, no, they're spreading CDs. Yep, all right, so now we're down another green source. They're just going to tempo us out of this, although they're down on time. We're not going to block. So we didn't get our untapped green source, and therefore we weren't able to cast this Pugnacious Hammerskull on time. And now, so we need a Temple Garden or something along, or a forest or something like that. Yeah, well, there's a plains. That is not what we wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So same verse, here we go. We're going, that looks almost like a forest, right? So we'll play another one, which is unfortunate because they're just going to kill us dead. And it's late and I'm tired, so I think we're going to call it and say GG's and good night, because we could block and stay to go to 1, but then we still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they're going to tap a land, so we're not going to be there. So, and we're not going to get there no matter what, and so we'll concede. Force of Vigor. Yeah, I mean, look at yeah, 3. So they showed me their hand. They have 3 counter spells: Lord of Atlantis and Marrow or Regery. We have Italy, Pugnacious Hammerskull, and that stuff. So, oh well. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes you get wrecked by a janky Merfolk build playing a whole lot of land hate in their main deck. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. This is Johnny Cycles with cyclesgaming.com. Be sure to check out my website for original Magic the Gathering content. Keep up with all my janky modern decks, such as my Budget Gruul Dragons deck for Modern, or my Commander decks, or read my science fiction fantasy novel that I'm publishing serially, a couple chapters every month. Also, be sure to check out my YouTube page, Johnny Cycles. Click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, y'all, and I'll catch you on the next one.